Hi, Tom Vandervoort from the Sporting News Studios. You know, every week I sit down with Hall of Fame quarterback Troy Aikman for our weekly show called Hot Reads, but a lot of times we have to cut out some pretty good stuff. One of the things we left out this week, Troy's take on 49ers quarterback Alex Smith. Speaking of quarterback, you did watch Alex Smith last week. We obviously went into that game, focused a lot on Aaron Rodgers, but if you look at last year and you look at last week, I'm wondering at what point do we say about Alex Smith, okay, he's not in the Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers category, but he's in a top-tier type category. He can win a Super Bowl. Assess his game and tell me where you think he stands right now as a quarterback.
Well, the funny thing about that particular question, Tom, is just a year ago, Eli Manning was being asked whether or not he was an elite quarterback, and he had already won a Super Bowl and had put together some pretty good seasons. And so I don't know that you ever truly escape that, particularly when you're within a system that Alex is currently in San Francisco. I mean, they're going to rely on their ability to run the football. And because of that, the numbers are not going to be quite as impressive as what you're going to see from Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady and those types of guys. And so if the measuring stick is always being compared to numbers, then Alex Smith is always going to come up a little bit short. But I think that the way that you differentiate yourself or you become considered one of the elite guys in the league is you go on and then win world championships. And that's what happened with me. And if you say, well, is Alex Smith one of those guys that can do it? There's very few quarterbacks in the history of this game that had not won a Super Bowl and people weren't questioning whether or not they could ultimately win a Super Bowl. I mean, Peyton Manning, prior to winning a Super Bowl, everybody was kind of wondering if he was ever going to do it, but no one was questioning if he could do it. And I think the same holds true for a guy like Dan Marino. But those guys are rare because they're such exceptional players. And so until you win a championship, I think you're always going to be questioned as to whether or not you can ultimately do it. But I think that for the 49ers and Alex Smith, with the team that they have, there's no doubt that that team is equipped to win a world championship.